Welcome to our live show today, Tuesday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, September 5th, where we come every Tuesday to talk about U.S. immigration live on Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, um, Instagram, and I said TikTok twice, but YouTube, I'm not sure if I said YouTube, but we're all these places here to take your questions live for general education purposes. We can't go too case specific into things, and we can't really get to timelines because I don't have answers for those, frankly. So let's see how far we get before the questions about timelines pop up. So it's going to be the first question or the second question as to how long things are taking. So we're going to be doing that for you. Get ready for it. I'm immigration lawyer John Khosravi, headquartered in Los Angeles, but we take cases from all across the world. Everything we do primarily is done through email, mail, and stuff like that. So we take cases. One thing is we have a great guide called the Ultimate Marriage Green Card Guide. You can download it at marriageimmigrationlaw.com. That's the website we have where you can download like 40 plus page PDF that goes through the marriage and fiance visa process. So you know what is going on and you can make the best decision possible for yourself before you talk with an attorney. So that way, when you go to a lawyer, you have good questions to ask. You don't go there and ask the basic stuff. You go, okay, I know the first level and second level stuff. Let's talk about the next level stuff. That's what you really should be doing, using your time properly. And that's what we're here to do. And so with that, I just rearranged the camera for those watching the video version of this, not the audio. Trying to get a better look because I have to look down a lot, look at phones for Instagram, TikTok, and I have one camera up. All you're going to see is my forehead. So questions are trickling in. First question, Deb says, can you help me about I-485 asylum granted, please? I'm not sure what there's help. I can't help you personally here, but generally, ask your questions. If I can answer it, we'll do it. If not, they schedule a consultation, or sometimes I say, we don't even do those cases. Particularly, we don't really handle asylum cases, but there might be some unique to your case that makes it able to handle it. But just ask your questions. Some people ask, can I ask a question? That's not the kind of question we're looking for. So I've said that. I think we got a couple on TikTok. Our first question on TikTok. Remember I said, let's see how long it takes for people to ask how long it takes. Well, here's first question on TikTok. I-130, how long it takes, brothers? Never knew it. So there's no answer. First of all, when you think about I-130, there's 5 different ways you can submit I-130. Is it for a child, a parent? Are you a green card holder? Are you a citizen? Is it for sibling? What country are they from? So that affects the whole case, which is what you're actually looking for. But a basic I-130 for a citizenship, marriage, if you're a U.S. citizen, doing it for a spouse, could take 12 months. It could take twice that. It could take triple that. It could take 3 months. But average 12. If you're a green card holder, 2 years. And then the other ones vary dramatically as well. So these questions about timelines, it's I got to ask a million questions, follow up. And whatever I say, it's probably not going to be right anyways, because the government does whatever it wants to do. So because of that, it's not a good question to ask in this form. We got another one. How long does it take for F2B visa to be approved? They're jumping around with the timelines on those, so it's not clear at all. No one has an answer to that one. Most there says, good night. What is the success rate for someone requesting a waiver for the vaccine? If you don't give us, statistics on how many people got their vaccine waiver approved properly, so there's no success rate that you can find, and it doesn't really matter. It really matters like what's the facts of your case are, and like who gets your case and how strict they want to be. So the success rate in that, like a lot of times, does not. It's like a meaningless number. You just, if you got a good case, do it. Probably going to get denied, but just go for it. How long it takes to get embassy at the interview? It depends on the embassy and how backed up they are, if they want to handle their case yet or not. Can I bring my family due to the war in Sudan? There is a TPS if they're already here, or they stay here in Sudan. I think it was reinstated today, but you can't just bring him. There's nobody nowhere they just bring him over. My case got denied for my I-751 because I was divorced. And can I get married to my fiance, get a green card? That's going to be a problem. So if you get a green card based on marriage and the marriage is new, they issue you a 2-year green card called a conditional green card. When that's going to expire at the 2-year mark, you have to file another application from I-751 to keep the green card. Now, if you filed it and it was denied, and then you get married and then get a new green card case going with a new spouse, what they're going to do is accuse you of marriage fraud in the first case. And if they accuse you of marriage fraud in the first case, then there's one of the most impossible things to fix. So they get deported, and you can't even get a tourist visa anymore once you accuse you of marriage fraud. Then they get you. So you need to make sure that first case is approved and challenge it and fight it out. So you definitely fess this 100%. You need to get a lawyer as soon as possible and work on this to fix that first case. Because if they accuse you of marriage fraud there, or you don't have good evidence of the relationship or can't back it up, it's going to be a major problem for you. Jada says, so my husband wants to get his citizenship. How long does it take for him to get it? I don't know. I don't know anything about your husband, and it depends on what they're doing at the local office that you're dealing with. Robbie says, hey, John, thanks for the live feed. I recently got an RFE for my father, proof of residence here since December 21st, 2000. I'm grandfather 245I with his license from 1993 and I-94 599 be good to prove. Maybe I can't give individual guidance as what's good to prove in your case or not, but I-94s are always good. But if you got his license in 93, but his I-94 means his entry documents from 1999, that means he left and came back. So it's discretion. Sometimes it's pretty flexible, but I can't really get into like saying something's good or not here without reviewing the documents. It's giving individual case guidance. User 6 says, I lost my F1 status. Any chance for green card? Any suggestions what to do? Well, it depends on what's going on in your case. You can reinstate it potentially. Your F1 student status. If you get married to a citizen, it doesn't matter. If you do an asylum, it may not matter. It just depends on what's going on. What the basis of your loss was, whether you just dropped out or you got like an end notice, so you're accumulating lawful presence or not. So there's a lot of things going on. That what you should do is just schedule a private consultation to go over everything and all the issues involved. So one thing it's a weird rule, but once you're out of status in the United States, you accumulate what's called unlawful presence days. And if you accumulate more than 180 of these and you leave the US, you're banned from coming back for 3 years. If you accumulate more than a year's worth of unlawful presence days, then you're banned for 10 years coming back to the United States. There are waivers of these, very difficult. You need a qualifying relative, all that kind of stuff. But on the other end, if you have a student visa like an F1, if you just drop out, you have what's called duration of status. So you don't begin to accumulate unlawful presence unless USCIS or the courts formally issue a denial notice or something like that. And that's when they'll start accumulating or counting the unlawful presence days. This is getting very technical. That's why I don't like going into much detail on this stuff here. It's going to confuse people, bore people. But that's when I say schedule consultation. It's not because I'm like someone on a feed level basically goes, oh, obviously you just want consultation, get money. It's like, obviously I do because it's my business, but I do want to explain stuff here. But getting into the weeds is going to be super boring of what unlawful presence is and the dates and how to calculate them in F1. And these are stuff we got to sit and handle. I got to know more. And it's hard for you to type out this information in a TikTok thing. So that's why I say it's schedule consultation so we get more deeper into it. It's not as easy. It's a complex situation we have to analyze. Suvi says, I'm a U.S. citizen. How much time will it take my husband's visa to be approved? I don't know. Depends on the embassy you're dealing with. Miguel says, got my green card today after 3 months is filing. God bless. That's wonderful. That happens a lot. We're doing adjustment of status nowadays for marriage cases, U.S. citizen marriage cases. Nat says, do you recommend DACA recipients to travel on AP to gain legal entry, enable AOS videos? I don't have a recommendation. You do what's appropriate for you in your case and your life. We don't get the cost here. So we have the key question of how much this costs, how much costs. I don't get into talking about the fees and stuff on this feed. Duo says, what else do we send with the I-129F for K3? Please help. I'm about to send it. You send the form. We send just, I would just redo like a whole I-129F package to be safe with bona fides and all that kind of stuff, evidence of relationship, citizenship status, seeing each other, all that kind of stuff. Not seeing each other is not necessarily needed for I-129F K3, but more that's better. Tyro says, what does emotional abuse and getting kicked out of the house unexpectedly allowed to qualify under VAWA? It's not like do this and it works. It depends on the whole story. So you have to have a good affidavit explaining the whole situation and where the extreme abuse is. Ashley asks, for a petitioner that is a green card holder, how long can the FDB take for his unmarried adult children? I don't know. The timelines change every day and every month, so we don't really know. Human says, how much you need to sponsor your wife for affidavit support? Well, if you're a U.S. citizen applying, I think it's around. The way to do it is go check out Form I-864P. So you go on Google, just type in Form I-864P. This has a chart that lists the amount you need based on your family size. So if you're single, one person, you add the foreign national, that's 2. Your household size is 2, and it lists what the rate is. If you have 2 kids, that's 3 plus the foreign national, that's 4. Then it says what the amounts are. So whatever amount it says, not gonna be exact. Just go check it out for yourself from I-864P. P as in Paul. Mr. Marathon says, thanks for your advice. Hello, I'm waiting for USCIS to arrange a visa appointment with my country's embassy to join my spouse in the USA. What would that take longer than 3 months? Yes. First of all, it's a national visa center that's going to send the case to the embassy, and the embassy is going to schedule appointment. And it could take 3 months. It could take 3 years. I mean, it's up to the embassy and how busy they are. In Pakistan, people are waiting 2 years plus for an interview. So definitely it's going to take more than 3 years, unless you're in, I don't know, you're in Germany or France or something like that. Sadly, says I overstayed my B1B2 visa. I'm sorry to hear that. Let's see on Instagram really quick. Okay. Okay. So Jam says, I got documents qualified. How do I expedite an interview embassy? Oh, we have an important need for an expedite. You contact the embassy and say, how long is fiance visa taking nowadays? Well, the I-1 is taking probably 18, 20 months. But the embassy, it depends on what your local embassy is doing. So it depends on them. My RFP response based on I-45, how long for approval? Oh, you don't know if you're getting approved. Hopefully you are, but there's no how long. It's just however long it takes them. Imran says, I'm Pakistani, but as a husband of U.S. citizen, can I apply for a green card from Spain? The place where you apply for your green card from, or the immigrant visa, not your green card per se, but immigrant visa, is based upon your place of residence. So if you're lawfully living in Spain, yeah, you could use the embassy there. Marathon says, I'm Morocco. I don't know current Morocco processing time, so I can't say. Ali says, can religious worker change the employer? I think we asked this last time. I fully explained it, so it may be, but I don't handle religious worker cases, so I don't know if there are exceptions to the AC-21 rules. How old the IA-24 take? 3 months to 24 months. Have you seen USCIS being harsh with IA-64, even though sponsored by poverty guidelines? Have I seen it? I see a lot of things. I'm really involved in the immigration field, so I've seen everything you could think of. I've seen it, but it's not something I worry about. There's always more to it than that. So if it's a good case, then don't worry about it. How long is the adjustment of status in New York? However long it takes them. Want to apply for citizenship but have fraud prior to 1996. How to proceed? Have green card from Wednesday, renewed twice. From Wednesday. I don't know what the fraud is based on, so we got to review the court's history. Awanza says my reentry permit still pending. It's been a year. A reentry permit is taking over a year right now. It's kind of crazy. It's taking this long, but you'll probably get it soon. Brother Hoodbeat says, how soon should we file the I-601A waiver after getting the I-130 case approved and fees coming up? Well, to be able to file the I-601A, you have to submit the National Visa Center fees, $445. So once you pay those and have receipts, then you can submit the I-61A. So you should have the I-61A ready to go once the National Visa Center gets the case and he gives you the case number and invoice ID number, so you can log into the online case and you pay the fee and get the receipt. Once you pay the fee, it usually takes like a week for it to go through the system. But once that happens, you file your I-618. Solid says, I got requested for additional absences. How long will it take to prove my request? I got requested for additional absences. I mean, the documents. How long will it take to prove request? However long that officer wants it to take. I got DQ'd. Okay, let me see really quick. Let me shut down some of this making some noise inside. Pause notifications. Let's see. How much income? How long? A lot of repeat questions. My F1 student expired, but I'm maintaining my I-20. Will it be a problem since I'm getting married too? And then nothing after that. F1, the visa doesn't matter if it expires. If you're going to school and maintain your status, it's fine. If you marry a U.S. citizen, that fixes it anyways. That's about it. Can an 18-year-old son file for my green card? No, a child has to be 21 to file for a parent. What happens if you've been charged with DUI shortly after DACA permit expired? Any options? Well, it's not good. It might not renew the DACA. You should have renewed it before it expired. Try renewing it, but they could always deny because of that. Joanna says, is it normal for USCIS to approve the derivative applicant before the primary for a work permit? For a work permit, there's no normals, whatever they want to do. The green card itself, we got to get the primary, but for work permit, they can do whatever they want. It doesn't matter. I mean, it matters for you because obviously you want it, but for like processing and rules and stuff, it doesn't matter. How long after you get a work authorization to get your green card? They're unrelated. There's no connection between the time of those. Can VAWA help citizenship interview, sir? I'm not sure why it would help or not help. Kylie says, what happens? Or we already answered that question. Is it possible? It's possible if I travel. I do have combo card, advanced pro for VAWA. I have clean record. I don't know anything about you, Fatima, other than some bits, so I can't recommend anything. Doing adjustment of status. Husband hasn't filed taxes. Can my father-in-law sponsor an affidavit? The petitioner, which would be your spouse, I'm guessing, has to submit affidavits for it as well, and they have to properly fill it out. So they need to file their taxes. How long does the waiver take? It's going to take forever right now. It depends on what kind of waiver you're asking for, but they're all taking years. What do you think about the K1 fiance visa? I don't think too highly of it. If you can, usually 9 out of 10 times I tell people to get married, unless there's some sort of exception. But it's not the best visa. It's overly complicated, too many steps, too much government fees, too much government interaction, too much delays to get the final green card, not enough time savings on it. So there's not much. Very rarely do I think it's a good idea to do a fiance visa. It might be your case, I don't know, but very rarely do I think it's a good idea. Can I get TSA pre on I-766? I don't know. I don't handle that kind of stuff. All right, just going through. We got a lot of questions here that are the same. Okay, someone purchased a 1 month subscription. So one thing on TikTok, I just clicked the button that says people can buy subscriptions, but I don't know what it is, and I'm not sure if you buy it, I don't get any money from it. So I'm not really sure. I have to finish it, like setting it up. So if you got a subscription on my TikTok, I'll just pressing buttons. I don't really know what a subscription is. I don't have anything set up for it. So be prepared for that. How long is humanitarian reinstatement taking? 1 month to 5 years. Can green card holder spouse apply social security number for female spouse? No, no one applies for someone else's social security number. When you have the proper method of getting a social security number, you apply for it. It could be a work permit or it could be a green card. So until you have those, or else of some sort of exception, it's not happening. My niece was 8 when sponsored with her parents. Now she's 22. Was she left behind? I don't know. I need to know if she qualifies under the Child Status Protection Act. You have to deduct the time it took for the I-130 petition to be approved from her age, and you have to file a green card case once deducted before she's 21 under that new age. But you might not be able to file on time because that chart is moving very slow and depends on. Essentially, I'm getting really complicated here, but I need to analyze the case to do a bunch of calculations of how old she was on a certain date, how long the I-130 took, do some math in there. It takes like 5-10 minutes to be able to answer that question. I got to really look into all the stuff first. Frisco says my niece was already answered that question. Can my U.S. citizen child file for me while I'm in the U.S. If you enter legally? Yeah, and if you, illegally maybe too, but if you get a waiver, the waiver is possible or not. All right, internet is being bad. Can I open an LLC? I'm on H-1B visa. Anyone can open a business in the United States. The problem is some rare office will say, oh, by opening an LLC, you're acting as an agent for the company you're working. That's a work violation. But most of them won't. Typically, I say get a lawyer to do it or something like that. Or not a lawyer to do it, but when you file the LLC, it says who the officers of the company. If you have other people that are friends of yours could be the officers, you can be the owner of it, but they could be the officers. It's better for the paperwork. How can a German citizen get American citizenship? Just like any other person, like you either have a family relationship, a work relationship, investment, or asylum, or something like that. The German aspect doesn't make a difference. What makes a difference in Germany is you can, for example, start a small business, get an E2 investor visa as being a German, come to US, be here for 5-10 years, operate that business. In the meantime, you fall in love, get married, and through marriage you get a green card, and then a couple years after that you get citizenship. So it's something like that would happen. Kylie says, "Hope I didn't miss a response." I think you asked about the DUI situation. Uh, you shouldn't have like let that doc expire. You should refile. It's going to be up to USCIS how strict they want to be about with your DUI. You should definitely argue bona fides like positive stuff by yourself to make up for it. I would like to schedule a consultation, please. Please email us info@jqqlaw.com and briefly describe your case. We know what's going on, and we take it from there. Fees apply. Dad visits US once a year with ESTA, never overstayed. Any trouble visiting if you file 130 for him? Any trouble, it's up to the officer at the airport if they want to give you trouble or not. I have history. My H-1B got denied. Will there be problems that I plan to get married citizen? It depends on why they denied it. So if it's like denied because you did fraud in the past, and the fraud's a problem. But just telling me you got denied doesn't give me information to be able to answer that question. My wife interview came up, but she's stuck in Kabul. What should I do? And I guess you gotta get rescheduled the person out. Okay, let's see. I went 30 approved in 9 days. That's wonderful. I had one approved once, like in 6 or 7 days too. It's kind of wild that they could do it so fast, but in other times they wait 12 months. Child sponsored with parents at age 8. Oh, yeah, answer that question. Hi, can he be deported for shoplifting under 100? Shoplifting charges are theft, and theft are pretty strict. Probably not for 100, but I need to see the statute you're convicted under. I'm divorced, so I need to prove marriage for naturalization 5-year rule. Uh, you don't have to, but the officer could potentially get into it to show proof that the marriage. If you got your green card based on marriage, they might ask to say show proof. It probably won't happen, but you want to be prepared for that as backup. There'll be a lot of repeat questions popping up. Today's like usually I get like thousands of people watching the show. Like there's been a slow day today, slow news day. Okay, how long does it take to process I-90? I submitted my application in 221. I-90 is taking a year and a half now. So if you did it in 2021, November 2023, probably anytime that's going overboard, you probably contact them, see what's going on. But usually it's kind of takes so long. I-90 is when you have a 10-year green card and you're renewing it. What happens if you are on appeal and you married a U.S. citizen? Do you have to go back to your home country? It depends on what your appeal on. Uh, Hi, it's been 6 months that I submitted I-224 to USCIS. They haven't sent MC yet. Yeah, it takes forever to do I-224. You want to avoid it all at all costs. Ryan Secret says, if I had a DUI in Canada, does that make me admissible to obtain a green card through my spouse? It's discretionary, but it's discretionary. Would USCIS issue a work permit if the applicant still has a valid I-94, so they wait until it expires to issue status? A work permit isn't status, so that's something completely different. So they're unrelated. And there are relations, yet, but like I-94 just says you're valid in the United States. It doesn't necessarily mean you have a work permit. In some cases it does, but some categories. But this is one of those things where you got to dive into your case. Can a green card holder apply for a white passport? Yes, that's the whole point. Susanna says, hi, good night. If your father filed for you and case got approved, will your child also get the papers too? I'm over 21. If you're, it depends. If you're, that's very possible. Very possible. It depends on how old the child is. If the child's young enough, it stays under 21. Or age of 21 or CISPO calculated under 21. Hello, when is the visa bulletin going to announce for this month? They change the time up when they announce the visa bulletin. Sometimes early in the month, usually third week or something like that is the average. My daughter's going to be 21 in 10 days. When can I start the paperwork? Well, you want to really start everything out right now or beforehand. You should have everything ready. So when she's officially 21, you can just submit it instead of waiting for her 21 to start doing the paperwork. What paperwork should you do to sue USCIS? Well, depending on what you're suing them for. Suzanne's a child of 7. Yeah, that'll probably be a part of the case. Steph says, I was deferred the first master's on F1 and started the secondary. My visa expires. OPT 80 stay. I don't know, Stefan. I need more information. I got to talk about your case. What about green card with charges? I don't know. I don't know what the charges are. Does minor should go school after green card apply? I'm not sure exactly what you're saying. Probably yes, but I'm not sure. Mina says, if you're on appeal, you married. Oh, yeah, I think we answered that question. Can I change my J1 visa to an H1B? If you're not subject to a 2-year home residency requirement, it's possible. But on your H1B, you need to have an employer that's either exempt from the H1B cap, or you got to wait till next year's lottery. So it's not impossible, but it's a lot going on. Oh boy. So we're going to call it a day pretty soon. I've had a long day, a little bit falling asleep. I'm a foreign trade dentist and I'm on an F2. Is there any chance I can change my status? Is there any chance you could do a lot of different things in life, but it really depends on what qualifications you have. So I don't know. I don't know about you. When to apply to remove conditions on conditional green card within a 90-day window before the green card expires is when you can file to remove the extensions on the conditions on a 2-year green card. How can I schedule a consultation? Please just email the office info@jqqlaw.com and briefly describe your immigration issue. Joe says, good night. My green card case was approved in December 2022. It was mailed out January 2023 to the wrong address. I filed the Form I-90, but still have an answer. I'm outside the USA. Sorry to hear that. Make sure they do a fingerprint appointment. You go, but they're really backlogged on the I-90 green card renewal. Joe says, and I need to go back. Is there a chance I can do any paperwork that can be filled out? You should have got a green card stamp in your passport to hold you over. If you have no evidence to come back, you got to go get a travel document of some kind from the U.S. Embassy, a boarding foil or something like that. I'm trying to be my sister from Lebanon. I'm U.S. citizen. How can this done quickly? It can't really. You got to see if some visa options are there, but through a sibling, that's going to take too long. Do I have to surrender my passport when I take oath of allegiance? No, they don't require that. Let's take a couple more questions. How long has it been? Just 26 minutes. He's a good attorney. Definitely recommend him. Thank you, A. It's very nice of you. I'm a green card holder since 3 years old. How long will it take to be a citizen? I mean, depends on your local office, how long they're taking. Can I file the adjustment of status and a waiver at the same time? Depends on what kind of waiver you're doing, but maybe, or most likely, but depends on what waiver you're requesting. To get a PR for my girlfriend, does my girlfriend have to have enough money? If you get married, you're saying like a marriage case, there's like a minimum amount she has to make. Yeah. Shags is perfect. Thanks so much. You're welcome. How long will it take for parents living abroad to get a green card interview? We're getting a lot of these questions about how long, especially about I-360. It's different based on the case, so I can't tell you how long it's going to be. Are there any ways to speed up the K-1 visa process? Maybe if you have like a expedite request, if you have valid cause, but not usually. I applied for my husband I-24. Can he apply for tourist visa now? You could try. It's up to the embassy whether they'll interview him and talk with him. As was how long does it take to schedule an interview? If he doesn't know about it, it's going to take forever. If someone had 4 DUIs that gets married to American, can he get a green card in Mexico? They're probably going to deny them for alcoholism and then bad moral character. I mean, you can, but there's going to be delays, and I'm not sure if it's going to get approved. 4 DUIs is a lot. How long is the advance parole for DACA? The last one I got was for like a couple of months, I think a month or something like that, 2 months. It depends what they want to do, but the last one I got was for 2 months. How long does I-751 take to receive a receipt notice? Right now, it's kind of slowed down. It's taking like it was a week, like a week. Right now, it's taking like 2-3 weeks to get the notice. It's a little longer. Been 4 months and I'm DQ. How much longer do I need to wait? It's up to the embassy. What's a rough estimate how long it takes to get EAD through marriage these days? 3 to 9 months. So for fiance, K1 is a mandatory meet real life? Yes, unless you have some sort of waiver. Yeah, Magic accidentally sent you a text. Lolo says, my child was born overseas. Do I need to include on the I-130 application if our child's already a citizen? I'm not sure. I haven't had this scenario. I would need to read the instructions and stuff, so I can't tell you. Hello, I heard the president said immigrants, they can apply for work permits. What is that? No, that's not the case. Will getting married to an LPR affect my pending adjustment of status filed with my son? No, not really. I mean, I can't say for sure because I don't know enough about you, but generally, no. For asylum appeal and to get married to a U.S. citizen, do you have to go back to your country? Probably not, unless they accuse you of fraud in your asylum or something like that, or you didn't have lawful entry. Let's see. Okay, I gotta start muting more people. Same question over again. How long does it usually take after applying for permanent resident? Depends on. There's no how. It varies. Let's put it that way. Yes, I'm muting some people who's repeating the same question that I keep answering. Come on, guys. If you ask the same question over and over again, it makes it hard to read other people's questions. You're welcome, Carlene. Phase, is there a backlog for K1 visa interviews? It depends on the embassy you're dealing with. I sent my medical exam 1 week ago. How long will it take to get approved? I don't know if you're getting approved. I mean, hopefully the medical right, but probably get approved. But it's up to them. Man said he said those are sleeping at street because they apply for asylum, but later apply. I don't know what the president's saying. The president says a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense. Please, what happens next doing your medicals? I don't know. You submit the case and you wait for the government to follow up. But thank you so much for joining us today. I appreciate it. I'm immigration lawyer John Casravi. If you want to schedule a private consultation, email the office to start and briefly describe your immigration situation. It's info@jqqlaw.com. We're here live every 5 p.m. Pacific time on Tuesdays. So we take your questions live here, the best way to do it. And that's that. Thank you, everyone. God bless. Be safe, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.